You're about to hear something most people spend their whole lives avoiding. There's a version of you, the one who explains too much, not because you love talking, but because silence feels dangerous. Because being misunderstood feels like losing control. Because judgment feels like rejection. Because not being liked feels like failure. So you fill the space. You justify your choices. You soften your boundaries. You explain your silence like it's a mistake. And it feels right. Responsible, even noble. But here's the truth. No one tells you. Every extra word you use to defend yourself quietly lowers your value. And the moment you stop, you don't lose respect. You finally start commanding it. It starts small, almost invisible. You're in a conversation. Nothing intense, nothing emotional, just another normal moment in a normal day. Someone looks at you and asks, "Why didn't you come yesterday?" Simple question, easy answer. "I didn't feel like it." That's all it needed to be, but that's not what you say. Instead, you feel something shift inside your chest, a tiny pressure, like you owe them more, so you start talking. "Well, I was actually really tired and it was a long day and I wasn't feeling great mentally and I figured it'd be better if I stayed home." You know? You hear yourself saying it, too many words, but you keep going anyway, because now you're committed. And then you do something you don't even realize you're doing. You study their face, looking for signs, a nod, a smile, a soft, "Yeah, I get it," a signal that says you're still good, you're still accepted. And when it comes, you exhale, not fully, just enough to survive the moment. Later that day, your phone lights up, a message. "Why are you being distant?" And instantly, everything tightens. Your jaw, your chest, your thoughts. Distant? You replay the day in your head. You weren't distant, you weren't cold, you were just quiet, focused, existing, but now that question sits there like an accusation. And suddenly, silence doesn't feel safe anymore, so you start typing, fast. "I'm not distant, I've just been busy, and honestly, I've had a lot going on and I didn't want to bother you, and I thought maybe giving space was better, but I didn't mean it like that." The message gets longer, more careful, more defensive. You read it twice, maybe 3 times, then you hit send. And just like before, you wait, staring at the screen, waiting for relief to arrive in the form of 3 little dots. Even at work, it follows you. Your boss questions a decision you made. You know you're right, you know it, but confidence doesn't show up first. Explanation does. So you start laying everything out. Every reason, every detail, every step you took to get there, hoping they'll see your logic, hoping they'll recognize your effort, hoping you won't look wrong. But here's the part no one tells you, the part you can't see from inside your own mind. Every explanation that feels like clarity to you, feels like uncertainty to them, it sounds like hesitation, like you're trying to convince not just them, but yourself, like you don't fully trust your own decisions unless someone else approves them. And over time, it stops being something you do. It becomes who you are, automatic, reflexive. You don't even notice it anymore. You just explain. To friends, to strangers, to people who didn't even ask, because somewhere, a long time ago, you learned a quiet rule. If people understand you, they won't reject you. If you explain enough, you'll be safe. But what you didn't realize is, while you were trying to feel safe, you were slowly teaching the world that your decisions need approval. And that belief, it doesn't protect your life, it quietly controls it. Here's the part no one says out loud. Over-explaining isn't kindness, it just looks like it. Underneath, it's fear, polished, dressed up, made socially acceptable. You think you're being thoughtful, respectful, easy to deal with, but what you're really doing is controlling how people see you. Every extra sentence, every added detail, it's not for them, it's for your own safety, because deep down, there's a quiet need. Do they approve of me? That's validation, and your brain treats it like survival. Not a preference, not a bonus, a necessity. Now, here's where it gets psychological. Every time you over-explain, you send a signal without realizing it. "I'm not fully certain. I need you to agree. I don't trust my decision unless you confirm it." And people feel that, not logically, instinctively, like a subtle shift in energy. Then comes something even more powerful, status. Every interaction has it. Invisible, unspoken, but always present. Someone leads, someone follows. And the person who explains less, usually leads, because they don't negotiate their choices. They make decisions, they stand by them, they move forward without seeking permission. But when you over-explain, you flip the dynamic. Without saying it, you communicate. Please understand me. Please agree with me. Please don't push me away. And people respond accordingly. Here's the dangerous part. This doesn't stay neutral. It compounds. The more you explain, the more people expect access to your reasoning. They question you more. They challenge you more. They test your boundaries just to see if you'll fold again. And most of the time, you do, because you've trained them to expect it. You've shown them that your decisions come with explanations attached, that your confidence is negotiable. So let me ask you something. What happens the moment you break that pattern? The moment you stop explaining and just stand there, because that's where everything starts to shift. At first, nothing happens. No dramatic shift, no instant respect, no sudden transformation, just silence. You give a short answer. Maybe one sentence, maybe just a look, and then you stop. No follow-up, no justification, no extra layer to make it okay, and instantly it feels wrong, almost uncomfortable in your own skin, like you broke an unspoken rule. Your mind starts racing. They're going to think I'm rude. They're going to misunderstand me. I should say more, just to be safe. That urge, it's loud, almost unbearable, because you're not used to leaving space unfilled. But this time, you don't fix it. You sit in it. The silence, the tension, the unknown outcome you can't control anymore. And then, something shifts. Not loudly, not obviously, subtly. They pause. For a second longer than usual, their eyes stay on you, just a little deeper. Not confused, not offended, just curious. Because you broke the pattern. You didn't follow the script they were used to. You didn't rush to explain. You didn't offer easy access to your thoughts. And now, they have to think about you. That's new, because before, you did the work for them. You explained everything, handed them clarity, made it effortless to understand you. But now, there's a gap, and humans don't like gaps. They try to fill them. But here's the part no one warns you about. Some people won't like this version of you. The ones who relied on your explanations start to feel uncomfortable, uneasy, because now they don't have control over the narrative anymore. They can't predict you as easily. They can't read you like an open book. And for them, that's frustrating. But even then, you don't explain. Not this time, because something bigger is happening beneath the surface. Something quiet, but powerful. And once you notice it, you'll realize this silence isn't emptiness. It's presence, and it's changing everything. Here's where everything flips. The moment you stop over-explaining, you create space. And most people are terrified of space, because in that silence, people start filling in the blanks themselves. They assign meaning. They build perception. They decide who you are without you guiding them. And this is where psychology turns the game. Humans don't respect what's fully explained. They respect what feels elevated, slightly out of reach, because mystery signals something powerful, confidence without the need for approval. When you explain everything, you remove all tension. There's nothing left to wonder about, no depth to explore, just facts handed over too easily. But when you say less, people lean in. They listen harder, they watch you closer. Your words carry weight, because they're rare, because they're chosen. And suddenly, silence isn't awkward anymore. It's controlled, intentional, powerful. You're not reacting to every question. You're deciding what deserves a response. And that shift, it changes how you're seen. Your presence feels stronger. Your energy feels grounded, because real confidence doesn't rush to explain. It doesn't chase understanding. It simply stands still and lets the world come to it. But here's the part no one warns you about. This shift comes with a cost. Not everyone will like the new you. Some people will feel it immediately, that change in your energy, that silence where explanations used to live, and it will make them uncomfortable because they can't read you anymore. They can't predict your reactions. They can't steer the conversation the way they used to. And when people lose that control, they don't always respond well. Others will push harder than before. They'll question you again and again. Why are you acting different? Did I do something? Why won't you just explain? It won't sound aggressive, it'll sound concerned. But underneath, it's resistance. They're trying to pull you back into a version of yourself that was easier to manage. And for a moment, you'll feel it. That old pull. The urge to fix the tension, to soften the silence, to explain just enough to make things normal again. But if you don't, if you hold your ground, even when it feels uncomfortable, something powerful happens. The right people start to adjust. They stop over-questioning you. They start trusting your choices. Respect replaces curiosity, because now you've shown them something real. You don't need permission to be who you are. And the ones who walk away, they weren't respecting you. They were benefiting from your need to explain. And now that it's gone, so are they. Remember the beginning? That version of you, the one who filled every silence with explanations, who tried so hard to be understood, just to feel safe. Here's what you couldn't see back then. You weren't earning respect. You were negotiating for it. Every extra word, every justification was a quiet trade. Please understand me so I can feel okay. But real respect, it doesn't come from explaining. It comes from presence, from how you stand when no one agrees, from how you respond when no one validates you, or when you choose not to respond at all. So next time someone questions you, pause, let the silence breathe, and instead of rushing to explain, decide. Answer simply, or don't answer at all. Because not everything needs clarity, not everything deserves your energy, and not everyone earns access to your inner world. The moment you stop explaining yourself is the moment you stop asking for permission to exist. And that changes everything. Not just how they see you, but how you see yourself. Because true power, it's quiet. It doesn't defend. It doesn't chase understanding. It simply stands, unshaken, unapologetic, and finally, unexplained.